And we're just over 2.5 minutes into the second. And Grant, this group play portion of this in-season tournament is played at teams' home arenas, along with the quarterfinals. But after that, we head to Las Vegas.
Yeah, B.A., I've got my ticket. Vegas continues to be such a tremendous host city, whether it's Summer League or the Cup. A perfect NBA gathering place.
On the court for Memphis, Santi Aldama out there with Desmond Bane. Then there's Ja Morant, then it's MP, and it's LaRavia in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Yeah, so energetic on the drive. Henderson manages to put the defense in a bad spot.
2 shots.
It's both from the stripe.
You have to love how Scoot Henderson plays beyond his size. I mean, using the quickness and agility to get the better of bigger players. I mean, that's impressive for a young guy to be doing.
Inside, Kamari. And he dunks it down.
And that's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
Hey, that makes the turnover hurt even more.
We know mistakes lead to breaks. That's just textbook right there.
And Brogdon with the stuff.
Yeah, you see the vision from Henderson. Just a terrific facilitator.
Memphis has gone 0 for 3 from deep to begin the second. And here's Brown for 3. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
And here's Grant from the arc. Hauled in by Brown.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
The 3 doesn't go that time.
Gotta find easier shots when you're already struggling. That's not gonna get it.
Throws it up high. Stolen by Bane. Aldama, the pass to Morant. Here's Brown. 4-3. Another miss by Brown.
Oh, wow. Easy at the score this quarter. And it's not for a lack of trying. They just need him to make something.
Grant in the post. Working on Aldama. Offensive rebound. Outside for Henderson. Buries it from 3. Henderson's got 5 points now this quarter.
And I love how they're working much harder on the glass this quarter and drumming up more second chance opportunities.
It's good.
Just 1 for 5 this quarter, but don't expect him to back away from adversity.
Knocked loose. And now the Grizzlies on the run. Bane, the pass to MP. That shot is off. And so it's Portland, ending the period up by a staggering 23 points. They're communicating well and stringing together stops. Back to the game after this break.
Welcome, everybody. A fun-filled evening underway, and before we talk about the first half of this game, let's see those power rankings.
Taking a look at Portland, they need to step back and take a look at what's going on. Mistakes have killed them, not just turnovers, but poor decision-making. This is a team everyone wants to play right now to get a dub.
And as for our matchup, what a tremendous first half it was for the Trailblazers.
Man, I would have loved to play on this team. They share the ball, that movement that creates openings for other guys and converting them into very high percentage shots.
Yeah, I just glanced at the numbers. They have more assists in one half than some teams have in a whole game.
That's it for us. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's send you over to Brian Anderson with the third period.
Just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You look at Scoot Henderson. What a contribution.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
If they don't change their approach in the second half, let's just say his success will continue.
We've got Jeremy Grant Malcolm Brogdon out there with Scoot Henderson. Then it's DeAndre Ayton, and it's Kamare in at the power forward position. That's the group on the floor for Portland. Now here's MP, Morant, Cash. It's MP picking up the assist. Morant's got his first bucket in this one.
That's on the defense there. When MP senses one of his guys is open, he hits him right away.
And the foul called on MP. That's his third foul of the game. It's great to see a fantastic block on replay once again.
Let's see if that block can amp up this team. I mean, they're looking for anything to get themselves going.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Brian, Scoot Henderson left high school early to pursue his basketball dreams. He missed out on a few things along the way, but he said, I feel I moved past all that, honestly. I have one goal. Everything else can wait. People that are going to prom, they're going to be there. The toughest part is just staying my age, but also being older than I am. Brian?
Allie, you look at him, mature beyond his years. Thank you. And Richard, Ja Morant, one of those guys that seems to always be working hard on his game. So much fun to watch.
Yeah, he looks to improve every single year and still believes he can get even better than he is now. You gotta love that type of mindset.
Pass to Bane. Oh, and makes it with the kiss. Bane's got his first 2 points of the night.
A clean start to the half for them, knocking down their first 3 shots.
Up top, Ayton. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Grant finds Henderson. Just 5 on the clock. Nice move. Portland, no good that time either.
That's not how you want to come out of the break. 3 straight misses. They need to settle in quick.
This one for 3. MP, no good.
Look, when you've made your first 3 shots in the half, I think it's okay for a heat check.
Henderson, the pass to Brogdon. Now Graham, guarded by Bane. Fades back. Back to Grant. Lets it go from deep. Kamare, no good.
Bad offense to begin the second half. 4 misses right off the bat.
Here's MP. No good there. Nice D from Henderson. And even the players have expressed concern about load management. Are changes afoot, or is this the new normal, Grant?
Well, B.A., I think protecting players from injury is smart to do. But maybe the ticket sellers need to highlight the back-to-back games so fans are well aware that some players might be sitting.
Jackson, he's checked in for MP. Brogdon against Morant. Brogdon, the pass to Ayton. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. Jaren Jackson picks one up.
That's what coach is asking from Ayton on the interior, to be assertive.
DeAndre Ayton.
That's good from Ayton. And Richard, if you look at 7-footer DeAndre Ayton, he has all the tools to be a dominant big man.
Yeah, you run down the list. He's mobile, bouncy, soft hands, great touch, has everything you need to be great. He's just got to put it all together.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Smart's checked in. Ayton hits them both. Well, Richard, since 2011, the Grizzlies have been very competitive, only missing the playoffs 3 times.
Yeah, in 3 quick years, they were able to do a rebuild by creating a strong culture, drafting some incredible young talent, and allowing them to develop.
Now here's Smart. Jackson for 3. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Grant's got a rebound number 5 here tonight. Pass to Brogdon. To the left side wing. To the inside. Ayton gets a double team. And here's Grant from the arc. Connects from downtown. Grant's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And the dime going to Ayton, expanding the passing part of his game.
They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
Grant against Bane. Now here's Aldama, tightly guarded. Unloads. And another miss by Memphis.
Credit the defensive effort there, not giving him room to operate.
Henderson against Smart. Down low. Picked his pocket. On the wing, Bane. He's covered by Grant. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. Marcus Smart traded last summer, Grant, bringing his defense to Memphis now.
Yeah, Smart was such a fixture for the Celtics for so long. But the way he plays should fit perfectly with Memphis. A great addition for the Grizzlies.
That free throw, no good. Richard, if you think about Smart, he's such a dependable player at both ends of the floor.
Especially on the defensive end, he is a lockdown guy. When he won Defensive Player of the Year in 22, he was the first guard to do it in 26 years since Gary Payton. That tells you the type of impact he can have.
LaRavia is checked in for Memphis. Williams comes in for Desmond Bane. He hits the second from the line.
Well, Marcus Smart is the pulse of the team. He plays with passion and does whatever his team needs from him.
Here's Benton. 10 points for him. To the middle. The kick out to Walker. Let's go with a three. Grizzlies with the rebound.
No.
Here's Morant. Jackson outside. And again, Memphis no good. Portland has got 7 of their 16 three-point attempts to go in. Down low. 6-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Graham.
Yes.
Outside Thibault. Here's Benton. Williams finds Walker. Trailblazers got to hurry. Got to get up a shot. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. From deep three-point range, he got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. And so it's Portland continuing to pile it on, up 22 as we head to the break. And the way they've been playing, I just don't think they could possibly lose control of this one. More 2K action in just a moment. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
You know, I'm kind of stoked that this was a choice because I love this pass. A remarkable find. He put his court vision on full display.
There wasn't a better pass in the game, almost like he had a sixth sense.
Well, there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth. We've got Jackson. Marcus Smart out there with Derrick Rose. Then it's Jackson. And it's Williams in at the small forward.
Showing he can make this shot. Give Jackson Jr. room to take the triple. Oh, and he will.
Thibault against Smart. Thibault passes to Walker. Inside. Jackson against Williams. Pass to Aiden. Outside Thibault. Here's the three. Williams grabs the board.
And they're up right now, but it hasn't been because of him. He's really struggled on offense.
Smart against Thibault. Smart with a bucket.
We know Marcus Smart wants to get in close and get that high percentage finish.
Pass to Thibault from behind the arc. Gets the three to fall.
Woo! That man is laser focused. Now, that's bad defense for a team that has a long way to go to catch up.
Effort like this makes you wonder if they've already packed it in for the game, ready to go on to the next. Gotta at least show a little heart out here.
Portland has gone 1 of 2 from deep in this quarter. Batten on the wing. Pass to Aiden. outside Thibault. Lets the three fly. The Grizzlies pull it in.
And even though he hasn't been himself, it hasn't affected his team too much. They've still got the lead.
And the dunk by Jackson.
And passes like this demonstrate Rose's unselfish attitude, which is why his teammates enjoy playing with him.
And the Trailblazers call time here. And Grant, players often looking to exaggerate contact. You like the new idea to call techs for flopping?
You know, B.A., it's even better than the fines they did in the past and posting it online. I mean, with the tech, now it's hurting you on the court. So if you ask me, it's long overdue.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth now. Back to Aiden. Pass to Henderson. And the layup is good off the glass.
When everything clicks for Henderson, you're going to see a lot of nights like this.
Jackson outside. Aldama outside. Grant against Bain. Oh, what a finish in traffic! My goodness!
Used the pick to perfection and got all the way to the rim.
Not for this yet. So what do I do? What time the warehouse open? It's open now? Okay. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. Use the bathroom later. Said they're gonna come July 31st, July 30th.
Splicing David. It means sweet and spicy. It's new.
Sweet.
Spicy.
Spicy. New way sweet and spicy honey. And say hello to Spicy.
Old Spice Party. High hose. Matte finish.
If you just bought a new MacBook, you're probably watching this video because you want to make sure how to set it up correctly. And look, you are in the right place. I've been setting up probably hundreds of MacBooks over the last 10 years on this channel and both at my job. And in today's video, we're going to show you exactly how to do it, as long as some tips and tricks and essential things you need to know along the way. Well, when I say we, I mean me, because she doesn't actually have any thumbs. Okay, so for the purposes of this video, this is the brand new Mac that I'm going to be setting up. Now, this particular model is a 14-inch M3 Pro MacBook Pro. But it doesn't really matter what MacBook you have, as long as it's an Apple Silicon Mac, all of this guide is going to be relevant to you. So first things first, we just flip it over. We're going to undo this tab on the back to gain access to the Mac, and we'll take off the top box. Okay, now the first thing you need to do is obviously just take everything out and just make sure that everything's actually in the box. So generally the way that MacBooks come packaged is you'll have the MacBook in a protective sleeve up the top, so we'll just put that to the side for now. We're also going to have the charger cable, which is going to be the next thing you see. This one is a black color, obviously because I have the space black color. Your particular color might differ depending on the Mac you selected. Next up, we have the documentation. Now, there's not really anything too interesting in here. You'll get a quick guide. You'll also get an Apple sticker, which is pretty useless unless you have an annoying child that you want to stick this on their forehead. But generally, you don't really need to worry about this. For warranty purposes, just keep your invoice, whether it was an online or physical purchase, just keep a copy of that. And the rest of this stuff, you just don't really need it. So next up, we have the charger. Now, you can see here that obviously I'm located in Australia, so I'm going to have the Australian adapter.
No.
But the way this works is quite simple. You have a little USB port right there. You'll have another USB port here. If I undo that, take off the packaging, you'll see that it just sticks right in there, and then you can use that to plug into your MacBook. The other end, of course, the MagSafe adapter, and you're good to go for charging. Now, one thing you may not know about these chargers is the head is actually removable and interchangeable. So all you need to do is, it helps to disconnect the cable first, you just pull it from here, pull it away from the body, and you can see now we have two separate pieces there. And what you can do now is, if this thing gets damaged, you can replace that, throw it out, buy a new one. Or alternatively, if you go traveling, you can actually bring this with you, and you can buy an international travel adapter head kit, and you can then use those to swap in and out depending on whichever country you're traveling to. This is a really easy way to not only charge your MacBook internationally when you travel, but as I mentioned before, this is a USB-C port, so you can plug any USB-C cable in here and charge cameras, phones, portable battery packs, you name it. I will put a link to those international travel adapters down in the description, as well as a video that I made going over my favorite MacBook accessories if you want to check that out. Okay, so let's get the box and the packaging out of the way, and we're going to focus on the piece de resistance, which is the MacBook. Now, you might think I'm a weirdo for doing this, but I always smell my new Apple products. They have this really specific smell about them. I don't know if it's the smell of regret of emptying out my bank account, or Apple put something in the packaging, but they just smell so good. And I thought I was a weirdo until I made a video where I sniffed a MacBook, and a lot of you guys commented and say you do the exact same thing. So if that's something you're into, give it a sniff. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but apart from that, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the MacBook out of the packaging. Now, generally I like to open it up by just peeling this back so you can see the back chassis. And one thing you really want to concentrate on here is just checking that there's no damage or fingerprints or smears or marks or anything like that on the actual chassis of the MacBook. Now, there's a 99.9% chance that this is a brand new MacBook and no one's ever touched it before, but sometimes stuff happens, refurbished stock or used stock gets mixed around. So just make sure that you do have a brand new model. Now, some easy ways to do that is obviously look for scratches or dust or anything like that. Check these feet here, make sure there's no scratches or marks. Check the chassis, that looks nice and clean, no fingerprints. And then you can flip it over. Look at the Apple logo as well, it's nice and shiny and clean, so this one looks good. So for example, if you have pulled it out and the Apple logo is kind of greasy or marked up like that, that's a pretty good indication that this is not a brand new product. And if that's the case, just take it straight back to where you purchased it from and just get a replacement. Okay, now that the fun part is out of the way, let's put this down on the table, open the lid, and start setting it up. Now, typically with these modern MacBooks, as soon as you open the lid, it's actually going to turn itself on. You can see there, you can see the Apple logo, you can hear the startup chime. We're just going to very gently peel this paper covering. You can just kind of use your fingers to just sort of pinch it here, just pull it off like that. And generally, I'll just keep this in the packaging in case I go to sell it or send it back to the manufacturer or whatever in the future. And as you can see now, we are at the setup screen. Now, just before we get into the setup process, you've probably bought your new computer to do things on, right? And some of those things may be creative in nature. Like me, photography is one of my hobbies. But after I've actually taken the shots, I am not very good at editing them in Adobe. And that's where the sponsor for this section of the video comes in, Skillshare. Now, I was having issues organizing my Lightroom library, not to mention actually getting good at editing my raw photos. I found this class on Skillshare by Lotus Carroll, and I found out that I can actually add keywords and metadata to my photos to help sort and organize them, which is super handy when you've just gotten back on a trip to Japan with thousands of photos. Now, if you're not familiar with Skillshare, it's the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across a wide range of topics. From illustration, photography, and graphic design to productivity, marketing, and even business. And what's unique about Skillshare is it's learn by doing approach. You don't just watch classes, you create and share projects as you learn. And if you're unsure about where to even start, Skillshare designed learning paths that help you explore and build a skill from zero to pro level. And right now, the first 500 people to use my link down in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Okay, so now we're going to set this MacBook up from brand new. Now again, if you've already done this or you already know how to do this, you can just use the timestamps down below to skip. But if you want to just follow along with me, I'm going to walk you through each step, what it means, and what you should select. So first of all, this is pretty explanatory. It's going to ask you what language you want to do the setup in. So I'm just going to choose English. And then it's going to ask you what country or region you are located in. So again, just try to set this to your country or region because it's going to cause issues later on if you don't, such as different keyboard layouts and settings, options, and things like that. I'm located in Australia, so I'm going to click Australia and then click Continue. The next screen is going to show you what written and spoken languages you want on the device. So for my region, Australia, the options for preferred languages is English, US, US keyboard, and also English, United States dictation. Now, if you want, you can jump down here and click Customize Settings. So if you do live in a specific region, such as the United States, if you speak another language primarily, such as German or Russian or whatever, you can come in here and add that if you so wish. So you can see if I click the plus icon, you can choose basically whatever language you want to use. So I'm happy with US English. Click Continue. I'm also happy with US keyboard. And I'm also happy with English United States dictation. Again, you can customize all of this here, or you can do it later on in the settings if you wish. Now, accessibility is pretty straightforward. If you are vision, motor, hearing, or cognitive impaired in any way, you have a couple of options here that's going to make using this MacBook a little bit easier. So if you're not sure what the MacBook offers, you can actually click on each of these things, and it's going to give you a little synopsis of what exactly that feature provides. So, for example, hearing, you can get closed captions on the screen. Cognitive, you can change the appearance and everything like that. I don't personally use any of these, so I'm just going to click Continue. Now, the next thing we need to do is connecting this MacBook to your internet, whether that's a wired internet connection or a Wi-Fi network. Now, if you already know the Wi-Fi password, you can just click on your network and then enter the password there. If you don't know it, generally it's on the back of your router. Sometimes ISPs will actually send you a little card with your SSID or your network, your Wi-Fi network name, and also the password listed on there. So go and grab that now. If you don't have a wireless connection, or if you want the fastest speeds possible, I do actually recommend buying a cheap Ethernet to USB-C adapter, and that's going to let you attach your MacBook directly to your router to get the fastest possible speeds. So for me, my Wi-Fi is plenty fast, so I'm going to click it here, and I'm going to type in my password. Okay, so the next option, once we are connected to our internet, is data and privacy. So if you want to, you can click learn more to read all about it. You have a spare 2 or 3 days to read through all of it. Typically, you're probably just going to be like me and click continue and just trust that there's nothing super important in there. Now, Migration Assistant is a very, very helpful tool, specifically if you're coming from a previous computer and you want to migrate your apps, your files, or your settings, for example, onto this new MacBook. Now, this obviously works best if you're coming from a previous Mac, for example, an older MacBook, and this is the replacement. But you can also do it on a Windows PC or a client machine. And this is super, super simple. The only thing you need is both devices need to be connected to the same network, so your home network, and that's going to do everything. It might take a few hours depending on how much data you have, but it's a very simple process. I will link an Apple support article down in the description of this video with more information on this. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to click not now, the bottom left-hand corner, because I don't really want to wait 2 or 3 hours for Migration Assistant to do its thing. Also consider, if you're only upgrading your laptops every 5 years or so, consider not using Migration Assistant and just starting from fresh. So at that point, you can set everything up again fresh. If you had any issues with your previous Mac, so it was slowing down, or there was bugs, or glitches, or anything like that, sometimes it's good to just start fresh every couple of years. So that's what I personally do when I upgrade my MacBooks after 3 to 5 years. And if you want to do that, again, you just click not down. So the next step is signing in with your Apple ID. Now, you probably already have an Apple ID. If that's the case, you can pop it in here. If you don't, you can create a new Apple ID here, or if you've forgotten the password, it'll have all the links to do that process here. Now, if you're having any issues signing in, you totally don't need to do this at this stage. You can still set the laptop up and do that at a later stage. So that's what I'm going to do. Set up later down in the bottom left. Then we have the terms and conditions. Again, probably don't want to read that. And this is where you can create your user. So full name, you can just put in your first name if you want. So I'm just going to put this as
I get it off,
count name. I'm just going to put Liam as well. This is just going to be the name of the actual folder where all of your user documents are stored on macOS. So I'm just going to put Liam. Password, I'm just going to put my usual password that I put in, and hint, totally up to you. I've been using the same user password for a few years. Don't really need a hint, but again, up to you. Don't forget to also edit your little profile picture up here, so you can click edit, and then you have a couple of different options here. So you can set an emoji or an emoji, and take a photo of yourself if you want, or you can select a previous photo. If you have a nicer picture of yourself, you can use that too as well. Personally, I just like to use these emojis. I'll set myself as a little koala because I'm Australian, and I'm just going to click save there. Again, you can edit all of this at a later stage, except the account name. That is something you cannot edit. So make sure you get that right during this setup process. Okay, at that stage, we're going to click continue. So next we have location service. Now this works pretty much the exact same way as it does on your iPhone if you have one. It just allows apps and services to use the current location that your MacBook is located at. And this can be really helpful, especially if you're using maps that just automatically detect your location and give you the estimated travel time to where you're searching, for example. Again, you can totally edit all of this later. So for now, I'm just going to enable that, and I'm going to click continue. So this next section is asking your permission to share Mac Analytics with Apple or share crash and usage data with app developers. Now, all this means is if there's any issues with your Mac, the operating system, or any of the apps that you're using, so for example, if it crashes or there's just compatibility issues, those anonymous logs are going to be sent to either Apple or the app developer to help them improve or fix that particular app or software. Now, it is completely anonymous. There's no personal data. It doesn't slow it down. It doesn't take up disk space. It's really just up to your personal preference if you want to help out Apple or the app developers. So for me personally, I'm just going to tip both of them because, again, There's nothing personal there. It has no impact on me. And I'm just going to click continue. So you're probably pretty familiar with screen time already. It's already on your iPhone. And all it does is it just tracks how much time you spend on your laptop each day and each week and gives you a detailed breakdown. So you can see exactly where you're spending your time. Now, generally, when I look at my screen time at the end of the week, it's nothing good. It's always negative because I'm clearly spending too much time on Reddit or YouTube. But it is quite effective, as you've probably already seen on the iPhone. You can set it up later, but generally I like to leave it on because it sends you a message once a week, just giving you a rough idea of how much time you're spending on certain things. So I'm going to click continue here. So moving on to Siri setup, you will notice a common theme here. That is that pretty much everything you have on iOS, on your iPhone, is also now on iOS. This works the exact same way as your iPhone. If you want to enable Ask Siri, you can. And I'm just going to do that because I like to use Siri on my Mac. So I'm just going to click continue. You have a couple of options here. I recommend just giving a quick listen to all of them. You can change this later in the settings if you want. I'm just going to select voice one and click continue. I'm going to hit continue again. And all you need to do here is just speak at a normal volume, read the sentences on the screen so that Siri can acclimate to your specific voice. Okay, now Siri is ready. Let's go continue. Now this section is very similar to the analytics section. Apple is asking you if you give Apple your permission to share voice recordings that you make to Siri and share them with Apple so that Apple can improve the Siri flow. Now again, this is relatively anonymous, but at the end of the day, it is your voice and certain snippets of what you are sharing with Siri that's being sent to Apple. So it's kind of up to you whether or not you trust Apple to not abuse those recordings or keep them 100% private. I personally haven't seen Apple abuse any of this, but just for privacy and peace of mind, generally I will just click not now to not share voice snippets with Apple, just to err on the side of caution. And so we'll click continue. Okay, now we get to set up Touch ID. Now, if you've already set up Touch ID on a previous MacBook, it's the exact same process, but if this is your first time ever using Touch ID, congratulations, because it is a lot better than entering in your password every time. So, to do Touch ID, we're just going to click continue, and we're just going to place whatever finger you want to use to unlock the Mac. Generally, it's the finger on your right hand, your index finger. You're just going to place that on top of the circle, and we're going to tap it multiple times. You don't really need to get the edges, just the flat part of your finger where the main part of the fingerprint is. Just press that down several times. Now, after a few taps, the message on the screen is going to change and ask you to do the edges of your finger. So make sure you get the very tip just under your nail and all around it. It's just going to improve the accuracy of Touch ID. So I'm going to go to the very tip a few times, the very base, around the edges, and now you can see that Touch ID is ready. So we're going to click continue. Now, bear in mind, with Touch ID, you can actually add multiple fingers later on, and I will show you how to do that. But for now, that is it. You have fully set up your MacBook. We are on the desktop, and you can now start using it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some tips and tricks, and also some things that I like to tweak and change on my particular MacBook, just to improve your usability and your experience. Now, let's start with the desktop. Now, we obviously have the dock here. And you can actually resize this quickly and easily using this little black line in the corner. If you click and hold on that and then drag it up and down, it's going to allow you to quickly resize the dock. Alternatively, you can also customize what app icons you want displayed down here on the dock. So for example, if we don't want the Photos app icon, you can click and hold on it. That's going to bring up the menu system. And we come up here to options, and we can hover over this and go remove from dock. Alternatively, let's say we don't want the apps icon there, an even quicker way of removing it from the dock is simply dragging it off onto the desktop. You'll see it now says remove, and we're just going to release, and it's going to disappear. Now, if we want an apps icon to appear down here, if it's not already, let's say, for example, we want the Photos app back up there, open up the application, and then come down here where it says Photos, click and hold, and then while continuously holding down, I'm going to come to options and then keep in dock. And we can also click and hold and drag this to reorder it. Now, while we're on the desktop, if you want to change the desktop wallpaper, there's two ways of doing it. First, quickest and easiest is by simply right-clicking on the desktop and then clicking Change Wallpaper. Or alternatively, you can also come up here to the Apple logo, System Settings, and then you can come down here to wallpaper. Now you get a ton of different options for the wallpaper. So obviously you can just add your own personal photo, family or friends or whatever, or you have some built-in options on macOS itself. So you have lots of different dynamic wallpapers here. So these will actually change colors throughout the day. Or you can come down here and do some landscapes or cityscapes. So for example, this one here, Dubai skyline, it's actually going to be an animated wallpaper, which looks really, really cool. However, you do have to download these. It's a couple of megabytes, it doesn't take too long, but I'm just going to leave this as the default Sonoma wallpaper for now. Now, while we are in the settings here, there's a couple of options that you should probably change. So the first one is going to be in general and then software update. So it's always a good idea to do an update when you first buy and set up the Mac. It's probably been sitting in a warehouse for a couple of months, and so the software is going to be out of date. So you can see here, I do have one update available, so I can actually click update now, and that will download and then install. Also, I recommend to enable automatic updates. So you can see here there's an option for automatic updates, and if you click this little eye icon, you have full control over what you want to update. So I recommend leaving these options as they are by default. So check for updates turned on, download new updates when available turned on, and also install security responses and system files. I generally leave these two unticked just because that gives you the option to actually install them when you want. But in general, it is very important to keep your MacBook as updated as possible. So it's not only going to ensure the performance is solid by fixing previous bugs and issues in prior versions of the macOS software, but it's also good for security. So if there's any new viruses or exploits or anything out there that people can use to potentially gain access to your computer, having those automatic updates turned on, specifically the security updates, is very important to prevent that from happening. Now, speaking of security, let's also jump into the security settings of your MacBook, because there's a couple of different things that I like to do on my MacBook. So if we scroll down here, there's going to be an option for privacy and security. Now, there's a couple of options here for privacy. I'm not going to go into all of these because there's quite a lot, but generally the way that macOS sets it up by default is good, and you should just kind of leave it the way it is. You can jump in here and tweak things, particularly if there's an app you're using that needs you to change something here. You can come in and customize this. But I like to go right down the bottom here and come to File Vault. Now, think of File Vault as turning your Mac into kind of like a safe or a vault that you need a key to open. And this is very, very good if someone steals your Mac or your Mac gets lost. It means it's going to be impossible for them to access any private data on the Mac's internal SSD or hard drive. So you can see here File Vault says it secures the data on your disk by encrypting its content automatically. And a couple of important things to note, you will need your login password or a recovery key to access data. And a recovery key is automatically generated as part of this setup. Now, if you forget both your password and recovery key, the data will be lost. And this is totally up to you. It's not necessary to turn this on. It's just a really good peace of mind, especially if you're outside of your home a lot and you're at cafes or you're at school or you're at work. If your MacBook gets lost or stolen, no one's going to be able to access it. So, and I'm actually going to use my iCloud to unlock my disk and reset my password if I forget it. The other option is you can create a recovery key, which you can then print out and store somewhere. But generally, iCloud is easier. Now, I'm not going to run through the rest of this setup in this video. I will leave a support article on the Apple website that will have any questions you want there. But it's just something I recommend doing if you are out and about with your laptop and you want to really lock it down in case it gets stolen or lost. Okay, so while we're still in the settings, another thing I like to do is customize the trackpad. So we come right down the bottom here and we click on trackpad. One thing I like to turn on straight away on all of my new MacBooks is tap to click. So if I'm turning that on, it means you can simply tap very lightly on the trackpad to select something rather than having to press down and put some force onto it. And you can also come up here and customize the secondary click. Now, secondary click is essentially if you had a physical mouse and you were clicking the right button, that's the secondary click on macOS. So by default, it is tap with 2 fingers, which I generally leave it at. And all that is just getting 2 fingers, tapping it on the trackpad, and you can see that is a right click. But like I said, there's a couple of options here, but I just like to leave it at tap 2 fingers. Now the other thing I like to change here is coming into scroll and zoom. I like to turn natural scrolling off. So by default, this is the way you scroll up by pulling down towards you, and if you want to scroll down, you push away from you. And for some people, that doesn't really feel natural, like the name suggests. So by switching natural scrolling off, if we come back here, now if I use my two fingers to scroll up, and then I can scroll down, it just feels more natural to me. But that's totally up to personal preference.
Downy does more to make clothes softer, fresher, and better. Because sometimes your work shirt needs to be a soft, cozy pillow. Downy, breathe life into your laundry.
So let's say, for example, you want to record the screen or take some screenshots. And this is a really good feature in macOS that I think is a lot better than Windows if you use Windows 11 anytime recently. So to record the screen or take screenshots, there are a couple of shortcuts you can use on the keyboard. So the quickest and easiest one is to just take a screenshot of the entire screen, hold down Command, hold down Shift, and then press 3. And you see that that's going to now take a screenshot. You can see it down at the bottom there. And what that's going to do is it's just going to save it directly to your desktop. So you can see it here. We can also press the space bar to do a quick look. That's another keyboard shortcut for you. And you can see we have a screenshot there. What I'm going to do now is just delete that. I don't need it anymore. There's two ways of doing that. You can just click and drag it and drop it in the trash can. Or another keyboard shortcut, hold Command and then delete, and that's going to send it to the trash. So that was Command Shift 3 to take a screenshot of the entire screen. If you want to take a screenshot of a particular section, like a smaller section, let's say, for example, we want to take a screenshot of the Safari icon down there. We're going to go Command Shift, and then instead of we're going to hit 4. And you can see now we have this little square pointer, and we can now click and drag over this area, release, and that's going to take a screenshot of that specific area. Now, alternatively, if you want to record the screen, we can go Command, Shift, and then 5. What that's going to do is it's actually going to give us a couple of different options here. So, we can capture the entire screen, we can capture selected window, or we can capture selected portions, and that's going to be for the screenshots, and more customization. Alternatively, we can record the entire screen, or we can record a selected portion. And if we click selected portion, we can obviously drag this. So if there's like a certain section of your screen you want to just cut out for privacy purposes to record, do that. But I generally just record the whole screen. We also have some options here. So we can choose where the screenshots and screen recordings are saved to. Like I said before, default is desktop, or we can go documents, mail messages, or you can click other locations. So if I click that, we can actually specify a specific folder for all new screen recordings and screenshots to go into. So let's say, for example, you're a university student and you're preparing material for a lecture, or you're at work and you want to prepare things for a particular meeting at work. You can come in here to, let's say, for example, our documents folder, create a new folder and call it meeting or lecture number 1. We'll create that, we'll select it, and then we'll click choose. And now, if we take a screen recording or a screenshot, it's actually going to save it to that specific folder. So it's really good for organizing everything. If you have different things you want to screenshot and screen record. So for example, let's take a screen recording. We're just going to click on the screen. You can see up here, this is where you can actually stop the screen recording. This little round circle with a square in it. So we're going to click that to stop it. You can see it's now saved. And if we now come back to that location, which was in our documents folder, we can see meeting or lecture 1 folder. And if we go inside that, we now have that specific screen recording. Now, another really powerful feature I want to talk about is having multiple desktops on your Mac. Now, like the name suggests, it just means you can have multiple at the same time and very quickly and easily.
Too much Cheetos, man.
Kind of like having 2 different monitors, but on the same screen. Now, to set up multiple desktops, there's two ways. We can either press
Oh, my
the
Cheetos.
A key up the top here, or we can use the 3-finger swipe
Come
on the
here.
trackpad, swipe up, and that will give us the desktop window. So we can come up here and click the add button over here to add an additional desktop. And we can then click on this, which is now called desktop 2.
What?
Now, one thing I like to do on a secondary or even third or fourth desktop is change the wallpaper so that I know which desktop
My
it's coming on
Cheetos.
just by looking at the wallpaper. So to do that, you just right click on the desktop, go to change wallpaper. You may remember this from before. And then we want to disable show on all spaces. And then we're going to change the wallpaper of desktop 2. So for example, I'm just going to use the same Sonoma wallpaper, so I'm going to switch it to the dark mode. And now, use the same 3-finger gesture, or press the 3 key. You can see that my desktops now have different wallpapers. And to switch between them is very, very easy. Swipe up with your 3 fingers, or press 3, and then you can just click on whichever desktop you want to go to. Alternatively, you hold down Control and use the arrow keys to switch between them. And this is very, very powerful. So let's say, for example, I have, Google.com open here, and I'm doing some research, and then I have some notes open here, so a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet or whatever. I can now very quickly and easily switch between these two desktops without having to minimize things or cram everything into one screen. So again, Control, left to right keys. Alternatively, use those handy 3 fingers and you can swipe between them like that. Very, very powerful stuff. Again, you can come up here and you can add multiple desktops. So you can have 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can also come up here to the little X. You can close desktops down that you no longer need. Now, installing apps is very, very easy. Let's say, for example, you want to install Chrome. Just go into Google and Safari, type in Chrome, and you can now download that. It's very simple. Alternatively, you can go to the App Store. You can come down here to the Launchpad, go App Store, and you can search for any applications that you want to download. You do have to be signed into your Apple ID account to do that, but there's a pretty good range of apps that you can download. Speaking of applications to download, you can get an app called Magnet, which is totally free. It's open source, doesn't cost you anything. That allows you to actually snap and resize windows on your Mac desktop. So this is something that is a native feature on a Windows machine, like Windows 11, but it is not on Mac. And the Magnet app is a really, really powerful app. And if you also want to try out some different apps, I recommend something called SteadApp. Now, this is not sponsored. They're not paying me any money, but if you jump onto the SteadApp website, you can get a 1-week free trial, or possibly more if they have deals on. And that's going to allow you to try out a bunch of different paid apps. They've got hundreds of apps you can choose from, and you can download them all, try them out, and then you can either continue on with the SteadApp subscription, get access to all of these apps for a monthly fee, or you can just cancel your subscription and go onto that specific app's website or the App Store and buy it for a couple of dollars, or however much it is, and continue using it forever. Now, some other services you can use are obviously iCloud. I do definitely recommend iCloud. If you didn't already sign in before to iCloud, you can go Apple logo, system settings, then you can go up here and sign in to your iCloud, add that to your Mac. And that allows you to instantly access all your contacts, your calendars, your photos, your emails, and also any files you may have stored on iCloud will automatically sync with your Mac. And if you're really conscious about your internet usage and staying private, or if you travel a lot, you can definitely pick up a VPN as well. Again, this video is not sponsored. I don't make any money from VPN companies, but I'll put 3 VPNs that I'm either currently using or have used in the past and can vouch for on the screen now, and I'll put some links down below to them. Now, one final thing I will show you is the Spotlight. Now, you may already have used this. There's a couple of ways to access it. You can click the F4 button here. There will be, by default, a little icon up here that you can click, or a keyboard shortcut is Command and Spacebar. And this is a very, very powerful tool. You can use to search files. So, for example, my lecture 01 from university or whatever, or meeting _04 for work or whatever, or even certain photos. So, let's say, for example, I have a trip to Thailand. I can type in Thailand, and it will actually list all of the photos that I took in that particular location. Likewise, Otherwise, if you have any photos of your pets or something on here, so cat, it will actually search through all the photos. And it can also do simple things like currency conversion or mathematics. So if I do 50 times 50, it's going to give you that result. Or alternatively, 100 US dollars to Australian dollars, it'll do that conversion right there. There's obviously a ton more stuff you can learn about your Mac and your Mac OS, but this video is already getting kind of long. I don't really want to overload you. So I will link some videos down below, some Mac tips and tricks, how to look after your battery, how to clean it, privacy and security, and also some additional tips and tricks and some applications that I recommend. So check all of that out in the video description. But apart from that, yeah, enjoy your new Mac. It is a great piece of technology. I've enjoyed using mine for the last 10 or 15 years, however long it's been. And if you do have any questions or anything like that, let me know down below. Apart from that, I'll catch you in the next one.
The Honda Civic behind me is next level awesome. And it's a hybrid. It's GML with a 200 horsepower hybrid powertrain. It's the most powerful in a Civic sedan ever.
Oh, Ford. Wild black boy down, mad boy, motherfucker. Black boy down with you, motherfucker. Understand that? Yeah. Ghost. You okay, my nigga? Ghost. Oh. What, man? Just holla at you, bro. I know you're my nigga, I know, right? So let me holla at you, man. The boy, I'm talking to my boy. My boy, you know him. He's my body boy. Oh yeah? Let him in this school. Let him in this school. The junkie boy, huh? The junkie boy outfit. Nope, I don't watch the shit.
Challenge 40 kills with every conversion kit. I took on the Ultimate Warzone Challenge and dropped 40 kills with every good, aka broken, conversion kit in Warzone. So if you enjoy the video, just drop a like and subscribe to the video.
Bitch. Boss 65. Get the fuck out of this house today. Get the fuck out of this house today.
Although I do think this looks like
Good.
it actually has a little bit of routine. I don't know if you can tell from this picture. Yeah, it is called Midnight, so it makes sense. But just so you're aware, if you see this in the Apple Store, it's black. It's actually not.
Alpha.
It definitely has some routine. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what the color actually looks like. The Apple Store, and also we got this MacBook.
Fuck the pussy hole.
They also have it available.
Shut up, motherfucker.
Honestly, it's not too
8
much.
o'clock on this bitch. Fuck out, nigga.
I don't think you would notice it in your everyday use, but I feel like if you're gonna get a brand new MacBook,
Why you got pussy out in this stuff?
a few years, I just feel like the Android chip is a lot more future-proof, and you're gonna be able to use it for probably longer.
Why you got pussy out in this stuff?
Entry chip and the entry chip was for us.
Let's go off, girl.
I think it's different for different countries. For us, it was
Shut up, man.
a lot. But also, if you're getting a MacBook, which is already so expensive, $250 isn't too much relative to the price. And yeah, it's probably the most cheap. A little longer, as I said. Like everything.
Alpha.
Apple products that you want to use for. If you have the budget, try to go for which is the smallest option you can 8 GB memory. I feel like this is really where you save a lot of money. Extra storage, like they're trying to just go for the cheapest one, I think. I'm in MacBook Pro, 256 GB storage, and I feel let's say it works. I would definitely benefit.
Don't take the meds now.
500 GB.
Don't take the meds now.
It works, but if you're buying the MacBook Air, it's probably not for do a lot of video editing.
Fuck no, nigga. Everybody wanna die.
You're a student or
Fold
MacBook for regular use, basically.
Fold it going around.
Like the most perfect MacBook for students, let's say, especially I think the 13-inch compared to the 15-inch. So this is kind of what
Fold it going around, nigga.
this MacBook. And if you want to see the whole shopping vlog, I will link it in the description.
My nigga dead or what?
That video, I'm not going to sit here and talk about this MacBook because I already talked about that in the shopping vlog. So for this video, I just wanted to say simple to unboxing it.
Don't let that nigga started.
I'm still running with these. Don't get
What? What, man? I buy a lot of shit because I want it. Because I want it. I want it, because I want it.
It's stuck in here. Yeah. I put it back here and now I can't get it out. Because it fits perfectly and there's like no little thing to chew it up from. Which is
You're the bitch. Oh, my God. Yo.
Alright, so first impressions of this MacBook, it is so tiny, it's so cute, and it's just 15
George!
And this is just, like, I obviously saw it in
George!
just holding it at home is like another
What's up,
feeling.
George?
It is so light. First of all, I'm used to
What's up, Big Daddy?
15-inch, and this is a MacBook Air. Like, the MacBook Air series is already famous for being lighter, or like an on-the-go MacBook, but also switching to
George gay. Don't worry about this.
Hold it, and it's so comfortable. Like, you can just walk around with it, and I mean, you're probably gonna want to have a case for it if you're on the go a lot, so you don't get any scratches or anything off it. But yeah, I'm started up and actually start using it, but so far I'm really in love with it. It's so cute. Also, first impression of this color, so the midnight, I think it definitely in some lighting, it looks a bit gray. Well, now
What's that name? What's that name, Alpha?
But
BK, right? BK?
Color.
BK.
Feels more dark gray or black, but with blue tinge. So it definitely shifts.
I
but
would
it's
call
a
it
really
big
good color.
imitator.
Yeah, it's a really classy color.
Yeah, so we'll check
And
it
of
out.
course, like the Apple logo is still visible. It's in this lighting. You can definitely see the Apple logo. Also, I was not expecting it to come with a matching color cable. So this is the charging cable, and it has the normal like MacBook input and then the USB-C output. And this is a little bit different than for the MacBook
I
Pro
got a
because this is
low
what
rent
the
bill.
MacBook Pro charger it looks like, which is just USB-C to USB-C, which I think
high,
is
this
kind of
motherfucker
convenient
is
because
high.
I can actually use it for
This
charging
house high
other
as shit.
devices. And now I can also charge my iPhone 15 with this cable, but for this one, you can't really do that because this is obviously just for the MacBook. Also, the power adapter for the MacBook Air is so much lighter and smaller than for the MacBook Pro. I mean, this is kind of an old version. I got it in 2019. Yeah, this is so large and it's just so convenient. So it's definitely easier to bring with you. One thing also to mention is this charging cable is like braided, or I'm not sure what this material is called, but it's not the same as the plastic material of the old charging cable. I feel like this is a lot more durable than the plastic. And also, as you can see, like this has gotten so miscolored, which just doesn't look nice. First of all, because it's a white cable, but also I think it's the plastic. So actually, this is really nice having a darker colored cable, so even if you get some like marks or discoloring, you can't really tell too much. It's really cute that it's matching the color of the MacBook.
Add more joy to your journey. Hurry in to the Hyundai Getaway sales event. Get in and get away now. Get 1.99% APR for 60 months, plus 500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson and Elantra. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
My dick out.
The home of the legendary scents of the Old Spice Flower Collection. Try the fresh with 24/7 freshness.
Also, one thing to mention on the design of this
Here
MacBook
comes that
is
P2.
I'm still used to MacBook Airs that just have this like inclining design where it gets like thinner right here where you open it and then thicker at the other end. But they made it to actually just look like with a thinner design.
Fill it out for the bank account, nigga.
Just looks like from the side.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, one man.
Also, here we have
PS5, nigga.
and then this is for
For the
charging.
face of Warzone, oh, got it on.
A little headphone.
Got it on.
So you can only charge from the left side. That is one thing.
Fill it up, I'll fuck you up.
Because with the MacBook Pro, you actually have
Fill it up, fool, I'll fuck you up.
on this side.
Motherfucker.
On
Hold on, fool, I'll fuck you up. Hold on,
on
fool, I'll fuck you
the
up.
other side. That is the thing I'm not too happy about with this. Because if you have the cable coming from this side where you don't have a charging input, you have to just go around it and bend the cable, which isn't too good. But yeah, yes, that's just what you get with this MacBook. I already love the screen size so much. I feel like it just looks more aesthetic than the bigger MacBook. Like there's not as much space around the actual keys on the keyboard on this MacBook, whereas on the 15-inch you have like the same size of the